Hello, everyone. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, all is right with the world, and the frost underneath the shadow of the scoreboard down here in Oxford, Ohio is just starting to clear up as we're about ready to get going for some morning softball action as the Robert Morris Colonials prepare to take on the red-hot Michigan Wolverines. I'm Morris Fabry. Alongside me is Lucas Vargas. This is WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan softball. Lucas, how much sleep you get last night?
Well, I think you started the broadcast off right by saying that all is right with the world. All is definitely right with the world. Jordan Poole last night hitting that clutch shot. There's no place I would have rather been than Liberty, Indiana with you and that 6-room motel. And I think I got about, I'd say 6 hours of sleep. I'd say it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think I clocked in at about 5.5.
I'd say it's a pretty good amount. More than yesterday.
Yeah, thanks to our theatrics, I think the entire Liberty Motel was awoken from their slumber if they were getting any sleep then to begin with.
Rightfully
not watching the game.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, they should have been watching anyway. So, Michigan's the visitors. The lineup facing right-handed freshman Caitlin Clark. Leading off at second base will be Faith Canfield. She'll be followed by Natalie Peters in center field. After her, Maddie Uden hitting third and playing third as Tara Blanco, I think, is battling some sort of illness, as our sources have told us. She was initially slated to be in the circle and batting third, of course, but I don't think we'll be seeing any of her today. After that, Aiden Falk hits fourth, plays right field. Hitting fifth, Alex Subject, the DH. Hitting sixth, Taylor Swearingen, who will be playing first base. Hitting seventh, Haley Hoganrod in left field. Hitting eighth is Katie Alexander behind the plate. And hitting ninth, the shortstop, Natalia Rodriguez. Clark looks in, gets the sign from her catcher, Bridget Guiley, and the first pitch is a curveball on the inside corner for a called strike one. The time at the start, 10:04 a.m. The temperature outside, I haven't pulled it up yet, but rest assured, it's nice out.
It's definitely a lot nicer than yesterday. Didn't have to brave nearly as many elements to get here today.
The 0-1 pitch misses high for ball one. It is 36 degrees, but there's not a cloud in the sky.
High today is supposed to be 54, so could be a nice day outside. All is right with the world.
Clark gets the sign. The 0-1 curveball starts high, stays high. Canfield lets it sail by for ball two.
Canfield had a very nice day all around yesterday, including a home run shot.
Raised her average up to 366 on the season. Clark looks in, gets the sign, the 2-1, curveball low, and the count moves to 3-1 on Faith Canfield, leading things off for the Wolverines. Canfield with one walk on the season. Might get a chance to double that here. Clark winds at 3-1, swinging a grounder foul down the third base line. Canfield a bit out in front of that, rolled over and smashed it into the ground. I had a tendency to do that as a hitter, but I didn't have as much power as Canfield to begin with either.
Well, you were telling me a pretty epic story about a triple play last night.
Yeah, we were talking about the best moments of our lives. And that Poole shot was up there. The 3-2 pitch, line drive, base hit into left field. A soft looper off the end of the bat. Lands about 10 feet into the outfield grass. And Canfield is aboard to start things off for the Wolverines. Still not going to add to that walk total, unfortunately.
She would rather put the ball in play.
Yeah, walks are good. Singles are just as nice. That'll bring up Natalie Peters. Peters had a fantastic day yesterday. About 5 separate slap hits to about the same area.
She did get a couple, maybe 1 or 2 to that right side, but not as effective as the left.
Her average up to 306. Clark winds the first pitch. Curveball started outside, never had a prayer crossing the plate. Peters takes for ball one.
Yeah, Robert Morris had a rough game yesterday that we did get to see against Fort Wayne.
Yeah, Robert Morris 0-3 on the weekend. They started off with a 1-2 loss to Dayton. Yesterday, a couple of run rule losses. The 1-0 on its way. Peters squares to bunt, pulls back. The pitch sails over the glove of the catcher Guiney, and scooting down to second base is Faith Canfield.
Yeah, the Wolverines should be able to score early and often in this game. You might expect, obviously don't want to take anything for granted, but given the performances that we saw yesterday, 2 7-0 victories, you would expect them to come out with their foot on the gas.
Absolutely. A run rule not out of the question, as Robert Morris lost 16-1 to Miami and then 10-1 to Fort Wayne. Peters chops one right back up the middle. Clark, the pitcher, fields, tosses over to first for the out. The runner Canfield moves over to third base. It's a productive out for the Michigan center fielder. That sets things up for Madison Uden. Yesterday in both games, she struck out in her first 2 at-bats and then hit a single up the middle in the third. See if she maybe gets off to a quicker start today. Infield and outfield straight away in at the corners on the lefty Uden. First pitch misses high for ball 1.
Right, Uden did come in as one of the leading batters on this Wolverines team. A little bit of a slow afternoon from the plate for her, but today could be an opportunity to pick it back up.
The 1-0 on its way, swinging a foul back to the screen. Was an off-speed offering, ducking low, and Uden got a bit under it. That average still sitting at 400, Lucas. Got off to some slow starts, but usually closed out those games strong and played some strong defense down at third as well.
Oh, no doubt about that. A couple line drives that were fielded very, very cleanly.
And the 1-1, changeup in the dirt. The wind has been blowing in from right center field pretty much all weekend. Never been too strong. Now it's billowing the American flag in right center. The 2-1, check swing foul back to the screen. Canfield scampers to the plate, but I guess didn't see that glanced off of Uden's bat. Your umpires today. Behind home plate is Tim Clem. Over at first base, Kim Johnson. And at third base, a new name, Dave Bowen. That's not a new name. He was in the first game yesterday, too. The 2-2, swinging a fly ball left field. That one's going to be over the head of the left fielder, Bartlow, and over the wall. It is gone. An opposite field home run for Madison Uden, getting things off with a bang for the Wolverines here in the top of the first. They lead 2-0.
Wow.
I thought that was off the wall.
I didn't think
off the bat.
I didn't think it was going to clear the fence for sure, but it cleared pretty it was solidly over the fence.
Yeah. Yeah, that ball had some serious carry to it. It wasn't a high arcing home run, more of a high line drive with a ton of backspin on it. That backspin carried it over the fence. So Uden goes yard.
Quick start.
That's her second home run of the season. That'll bring up Aiden Falk with the bases empty and 1 out here in the top of the first.
Wolverines have really shown their power this weekend.
I'll tell you, as a broadcaster, I really relish the opportunity to make some good home run calls. I think that was lackluster. First pitch on its way to Falk. Hard riser misses high for ball 1. Fortunately, the Wolverines have given me 3 opportunities this weekend. Clark, the freshman, winds, delivers. 1-0 curveball, a generous called strike on the outside corner. Came backdoor to the lefty Falk, who has had plenty of extra base power this weekend. She's hitting .359 on the season. The 1-1, curveball misses high for ball 2. Definitely a more sparsely attended game here against Robert Morris. You get the sense that some Michigan fans just came down for that Saturday slate. 2-1, swinging a slow roller over to third, fielded by Olivia LaRusso. She fires over to first and retires Aiden Falk for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, I'd say some Michigan fans probably made the trip back. Also, doesn't appear that there are too many Robert Morris fans here in attendance. I think some of the teams that Michigan played yesterday had a couple of fans at least in attendance, especially the Miami, Ohio fans.
I think you're right on that. That brings up Alex Subject. She checks her swing on the first pitch. It misses high for a ball. Appeal down to first. She did not go. Wasn't really any doubt in my mind, nor was there any in Kim Johnson's first base ump.
Topic of discussion yesterday.
The 1-0 curveball called strike at the knees. On the inner half from Caitlin Clark, a freshman with an ERA of 1.62. 0-2 on the season in the win-loss department, only thrown 4 1/3 innings prior to this game. The 1-1 starts high, stays high for ball 2 on Alex Subject. Subject, the designated player today, didn't really cover herself in glory yesterday, hitting .250 on the season. The 2-1 curveball, another called strike on the inside corner. Good spot there from the freshman Clark. I'd give you more data on Caitlin Clark, but her bio on Robert Morris's website is currently blank. So all we know about her is what we see today.
Yeah, that's a great strategy by Robert Morris to hide the scouting report.
The 2-2 pitch is tapped foul down the third base line. Yeah, if we can't read about her, neither can Carol Hutchins, so the game plan is rather limited. Maybe that's why we're seeing her today.
It's a secret weapon.
Subject trying to start a 2-out rally for the Maize and Blue. They are wearing their Maize jerseys today, the 2-2. Riser starts high, stays high. The count now full on Alex Subject. A patient hitter in general for the Wolverines. Clark winds the payoff pitch, swinging another tapper foul. This one will roll into the Michigan dugout, thankfully with a lot less velocity than some of the screamers we saw enter either dugout yesterday.
Yeah, we have seen some dangerous hits go foul into that third base dugout.
Clark winds another payoff pitch. Subject swings, puts a charge into this one, left field, and it's off the base of the wall. It's fumbled a bit by the left fielder Bartlow, and Subject will cruise into second with a 2-out stand-up double.
That one looked like it could have gone over again. The Wolverines sure like that left field wall.
Yeah, they've been peppering these walls that are covered in red tarp. Tarp is the wrong word for the material, but it's the best I'm going to come up with now. Yeah, a lot of softballs up against the wall this weekend for the Wolverines, or over the wall. That brings up Taylor Swearingen. Had a walk yesterday. First pitch from Clark. Slow curve catches the outside corner for a called strike one. Swearingen added to her already prodigious on-base percentage, raising it to .538. Was a late insertion to the lineup. The 0-1 hard curve misses off the plate away for ball one, as Tara Blanco reportedly ill, again, from sources, our sources. Yeah, probably won't see her today. Hopefully it's something she can get over in time for next weekend against Iowa. The 1-1 clobbered foul down the right field line. Not home run distance. The pitch off the plate away. And the count runs to 1-2 on Taylor Swearingen. The freshman Clark trying to get out of the inning relatively unscathed. Swearingen takes a half hack, steps back into the box, steadies herself. Clark winds the 1-2, swinging a high foul fly to the left side, beyond the Michigan bullpen and out of play. Swearingen stands her feet relatively close together, a little bit hunched over near the back of the box.
Well, this is a great opportunity for her to show how useful she can be as a bench player.
The 1-2 yet again bounces a couple feet in front of home plate. Swearingen lets it go by. The count runs to 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, runner on second with 2 outs. And the Wolverines nursing a 2-run lead. Clark takes a long look in, gets her sign. Pitch on its way, swinging a pop-up foul. Swearingen doing a good job extending this at-bat.
That's right. I think that's something you talked about yesterday, was that Coach Hutchins does like her batters to be patient and to attack the at-bats if possible. I think that Taylor Swearingen has, in fact, done that so far here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, it's a competitive sort of iron sharpens iron relationship between all these teammates. As Swearingen turns on one, drives it to left field, and that one is over the wall. It's a home run for Taylor Swearingen, all over the off-speed offering from Caitlin Clark. And the Wolverines up 4-0 now on Robert Morris Colonials here in the top of the first inning. Swearingen just caught a hold of that one. Foul ball after foul ball, spoiling Clark's pitches until she finally found one in her wheelhouse, turned on it in an absolute rope over the wall.
What a whack on that pitch. And as we noted a couple moments ago, that left field wall is getting its fair share of attention so far this tournament for the Wolverines. Big plays only for Michigan.
That brings up Haley Hoganrod. She grounds one through the left side for a base hit on the first pitch of the at-bat. She didn't have a great day yesterday at the plate, but she's starting off right today. And that's going to bring up Katie Alexander, who has to remove her shin guards.
Big plays only for Michigan, it looks like. From last night to today.
Yeah, I wonder how many of the players actually got to stay up and watch the game given the early start time today. I got to put in a little more prep than we did. And we are going to see a pitching change. Head coach Craig Coleman, MD, in fact, per the Robert Morris website, has seen enough.
A doctor.
And Caitlin Elsey, junior out of Cadiz, not sure how to pronounce that. We'll call it Cadiz, Ohio, out of Harrison Central High School. A righty will enter the game for the Robert Morris Colonials. Elsey was an all-state player in her junior and senior seasons. In her senior year, posted 17 wins and a 1.31 ERA in her final campaign with Harrison. This is straight off the Robert Morris website. Only the finest sources for WCBN Sports. This year,
it's an improvement if they have some information.
Yep, you're not wrong. This year, she's thrown 23 innings, given up 23 earned runs in those 23 innings.
1 for 1.
So that would be a 7 ERA if my calculations are correct. A 2-5 win-loss ratio. And that'll bring up Katie Alexander. The first pitch, curveball, called, a ball, just a bit above the belt, perhaps. Alexander rock solid in the second game for the Wolverines yesterday. Had a home run, couple of singles, raised her average up to 305 on the season. She's got 3 home runs, 10 RBI. 1-0 pitch is a curveball that misses inside for ball 2. So the final line for Caitlin Clark, not going to look very pretty. 2/3 of an inning pitched, 4 earned runs thus far,
and
with 5 hits.
2 home runs.
2 home runs and 1 runner she's responsible for. That'll get wiped off the base pads as Alexander grounds into a fielder's choice. Higgins, the second baseman, fields flips to the shortstop Miller. And that'll do it for the Wolverines in the top half of the first. But they put 4 on the scoreboard, taking that lead into the bottom of the first inning. I think we're going to see Sarah Schaefer in the circle today. That's what the lineup card suggests. The depth of the rotation will be somewhat depleted. Hopefully, Bobian and Schaefer will be ready to go on short notice, and the offense will be able to pick up any slack that will be left on the metaphorical slack line.
Well, you expect Sarah Schaefer to be able to come out and take care of business today. Nothing out of the Robert Morris offense that we observed yesterday scared me too much.
Yeah, it'll be an opportunity to work on, maybe some mechanical things, work on her location, technical stuff, because I don't think the outcome of the game is really in doubt at this point.
And she played very, very well against Dayton in game number 1 of our slate yesterday, finishing her first complete game and notching her first win of the season. So she can look to build on that here in game number 3 of the Miami Invitational.
A complete game shutout, her first career win, first career complete game, and her first career shutout. Schaefer 1-3 on the season. 33 2/3 innings pitched. A 2.14 ERA per the Michigan website. So the lineup for Robert Morris that she will face today, leading off, playing right field, Brianna Bunner. A righty. We might not see a lot of bunts out of her, but it's in her name. Hitting second in center field, Kristen Prey. Hitting third at second base, Natalie Higgins. Hitting fourth at first base, Abrielle McCartney. Hitting fifth at third base, Olivia LaRusso. And we'll give you the rest after the first pitch from Schaefer to Brianna Bunner. It's on its way, and it's a curveball in for a called strike on the outer edge. Hitting sixth at designated hitter, Madison Riggle. Hitting seventh in left field, Taylor Bartlow. As Schaefer looks into Alexander, winds the 0-1. Swinging a slow tapper left side of the infield. Uden ranges far to her left fields and fires to first for the first out of the inning. Hitting eighth at catcher, Bridget Guiney, and hitting ninth at shortstop, Taryn Miller.
Good job by Uden on out number 1 to charge the slow roller into kind of no man's land in between the third base, shortstop, and pitcher, and then rifle it over to new first baseman, Swearingen.
First pitch called strike from Schaefer to the lefty Kristen Prey, who is hitting .230 on the season this season. Prey, a lefty, awaits the 1-0 or 0-1 swung on in a foul pop-up off the top of the screen behind home plate. It's 0-2 quickly on the Robert Morris center fielder. Prey digs back and stands near the middle of the box, slightly open stance, crouched low. The 0-2 from Schaefer, swinging a foul tip into the glove of Katie Alexander. 2 up and 2 down quickly for Robert Morris here in the bottom of the first.
Well, the short rest shouldn't be much of an issue if Sarah Schaefer can continue the pace she's working at right now, getting batters up and getting them down very, very quickly and efficiently to start this game off.
That'll bring up Natalie Higgins, the righty. First pitch from Schaefer. Curve off the plate away for ball 1. Higgins hitting .324 on the season. 2 home runs, 10 RBI. Schaefer back onto the rubber. Fiddles with the ball. Delivers the 1-0. Curveball misses a bit low for ball 1. Or ball 2. As we said, not much sleep, but plenty of coffee at the Oxford Bob Evans this morning, so no excuses for making mistakes on this call.
And no lack of energy for us either. I'd say we're pretty juiced up.
Yeah, still invigorated. Change up tapped foul behind home plate. The count moves to 2-1. Yeah, we can use that as the default explanation for why the Wolverines have been leaving the yard.
I've never hugged someone that I've seen for like the second time.
Yeah, we didn't know each other too well.
Quite as hard as I gave you a hug after that shot.
The 2-1 swinging a slow, soft line drive just behind short. Natalia Rodriguez starts in and then drifts back to make the catch on the edge of the infield dirt. A 1-2-3 inning for the Colonials up against Sarah Schaefer, and the Wolverines lead 4-0 heading into the top of the second on WCBN Sports' broadcast of Michigan softball. Thanks to those of you who are tuned into this one, gotten up early despite probably staying up late for that game. Yeah, this is the kind of thing where, people bond. They get to know each other.
That's what sports are all about.
Mm-hmm.
Uniting.
Yep, I've certainly got to know some members of the University of Michigan softball fan base as well over this weekend.
We do have some great ones.
We do, and they're out there today decked out in maize and blue.
Surely enjoying the sunshine today, and the expected temperature is supposed to warm up into the 50s by this afternoon.
Yeah, it was 36 again at the start of the game, but yeah, poised for brighter days to come. So it'll be Rodriguez starting things off, followed by and Natalie Peters. Rodriguez, a lefty, did quite well for herself yesterday. Her average rising to .277 on the season. A number of sacrifice hits as well. Well, the number is 1. She had 1 sacrifice hit yesterday. Still raised the total. First pitch on her way, squares to bunt, pulls back. It's a changeup called strike on the outside corner. Good pitch there from Caitlin Elsey. Couple of Caitlins in the circle so far for Robert Morris. This one spells it with 2 I's. D-O-1, curveball misses off the plate outside for ball 1. Caitlin Clark with an I and then a Y. I'll leave it to you to imagine where those I's and Y's go. The 1-1, Rodriguez again squares to bunt, pulls back.
Well, the nice thing about radio is that we don't have to worry about spelling properly while we speak.
Yeah, I'm into that sort of thing, though. I need to be saying words spelled properly. Rodriguez squares to bunt again and again pulls back, and again the pitch misses off the plate away for ball 3. Infield in, outfield in slightly, but pretty straight away against the lefty Rodriguez. There's some room beyond the edge of the infield. The 3-1 misses high for ball 4, and Rodriguez down to first with a leadoff walk.
Yeah, 4 balls pretty outside for the most part. Just patience at the plate, and the Wolverines will go back to the top of the order and see if they can do some more damage this time around.
That'll bring up Faith Canfield. 1-for-1 with a single to left in her first at-bat. First pitch from Elsie in the dirt. Rodriguez took off with the pitch. She's going to slide in well ahead of the throw. Real tough play for the catcher, Guiney, to corral that in the dirt. Make the throw down to second. She did gamely to even get it down there, but the speedy Rodriguez swipes the bag.
Yeah, when the ball just kind of skids in the dirt, loses all of its speed, cuts down on that time from pitch to glove, and Rodriguez is pretty speedy about the time that she needed to get over there.
The 1-0 pitch misses high for ball 2. Elsie winds. The 2-0 pitch grounded right back up the middle. It's a base hit. Rodriguez takes the turn, heading home. The throw up the line. Rodriguez scores. Canfield to second on the throw. And the Wolverines add to their 4-0 lead. Now it's 5-0, and Natalie Peters steps to the plate. Still nobody out.
Yeah, Faith Canfield looking to take care of business in this one. I don't think she intends to play 7 innings this morning, I would say.
Yeah, I don't think you're off base. Question now becomes, who are we going to see in this one? Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but I'll get ahead of ourselves a bit. First pitch from Elsie, curveball called strike, belt high outside corner to Natalie Peters. Elsie's got a little more velocity than Clark does, a little more zip out of her right arm. Thus far, the Wolverines have been up to the task of squaring her up, though, in the limited time that they've seen her. The 0-1, change up. Ooh, just missed low. Looked like a good pitch. Peters was already out in front of the box by the time that landed in the glove of the catcher, Guiney.
Yeah, I'd say they're having a little bit of a tougher time with Elsie's pitches. Just one that's been really made contact with, and that was Canfield.
1-1, swinging a rocket foul back to the screen on the left side. The count now, I think 1-2 on Natalie Peters. Yes, it is.
I believe so.
Infield leaving some space up the middle, shaded toward the holes. The 1-2 on its way, swinging a slow tapper toward third. It's picked up in foul ground by a charging Olivia LaRusso. Would have been an effective swinging bunt for Peters. No way she was getting thrown out if that one stayed fair.
Yeah, really quick player in her own right. We've seen that speed be put to the test this weekend a couple of times.
Haven't really seen her have to stretch her legs in the outfield, but that's more of a testament to the efficiency of the pitchers. The 1-2, another swing and a tapper foul. Peters forced to take her first step sort of back toward second base as opposed to toward first base, as that pitch was over the outer part of the plate, reached across and just got a piece to stay alive. It's such a complicated, to me, routine, that slap approach. The 1-2 pitch, changeup misses high.
It's kind of like Happy Gilmore, the golf swing a little bit, but with a baseball bat.
Yeah, this one not designed so much for power as that one is.
That's a fair point.
But man, I just can't imagine the thought process that went into developing that sort of form. The 2-2 on its way, swinging a low looping fly ball down the left field line. It lands foul.
I'd have to think that it has to do something with just more bat speed, more momentum, and then you can drive it more towards the third base line and get yourself already on the right side of the plate headed towards first base a lot quicker.
Yeah, I think it's almost definitely designed for the speed to first base, and it has to do with the 60-foot base pass instead of 90. The changeup misses low and outside for ball 3, where the advantage of getting that extra step is pretty high.
Yes,
especially when you got a speedster in that lefty batter's box. Can't argue with the results. Michigan's had a number of slappers over the year, have a lot of success, and they faced a number too.
Very common from their left-handed hitters. Peters is really dragging this at bat out.
Yeah, full count pitch. Again, slapped foul to the left side. Elsie looking for a put-away pitch against the Michigan center fielder. Peters grounded out back to Caitlin Clark in her first at-bat. And that one she moved Canfield over to third. Canfield's on second yet again. The payoff pitch, swinging a tapper foul to the left side. Probably swung at ball 4 there. That might have been a little above the zone, but better safe than sorry with a 2-strike count.
Yeah, no harm.
Kev predicted on East of the Rockies that she would go yard twice this weekend. Yet to do it even once. The 3-2 on its way, swinging a line drive foul down the third baseline. Looks like she's attempting target practice at Coach Carol Hutchins.
Really making Elsie work, that's for sure.
Peters several 2-strike foul balls in this at-bat alone. That's what Hutch likes to see as she nods her head, staring in with her sunglasses at home plate. Another full count pitch, curveball misses off the plate outside. It's a well-earned walk for Natalie Peters.
Yeah, someone had to give during that pitcher-batter showdown in that at-bat, and Elsie just unable to get the accuracy and the location necessary to strike out a really disciplined and good batter in Natalie Peters.
Yeah, it was a close pitch. But good eye from the Michigan center fielder. That brings up Madison Uden, a 2-run home run to left in her first at-bat. She takes the first pitch high for ball 1.
No outs, another great opportunity for her to generate some RBIs.
Runners on first and second, nobody out for the Wolverines in the top of the second. Changeup in there for a called strike on the outside corner. The count moves to 1-1 on Madison Uden.
It was a really slow pitch. She may have wanted that one back, but I'm sure she'll find another pitch that she likes.
The 1-1 on its way. Uden, big cut and a miss. She liked that one. It was about chest high, and she couldn't square it up. Little high heat from the Robert Morris Jr., Caitlin Elsie. Infield and outfield straight away. Miller's a shortstop deep in the hole on the left side. The 1-2, another changeup. This one bounces right in front of home plate on the left, on the outside edge. Count runs to 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Uden, 2 runners on base, nobody out for the Wolverines. They have a 5-0 lead. Pitch on the way, big swing and a miss from Maddie Uden. It's that outside stuff that she struggled with a bit yesterday and couldn't fight it off. That's the first out of the inning for Caitlin Elsie and the Robert Morris Colonials.
The Elsie has shown that she definitely likes to go towards that outside of the plate more so than the inside, and showing off a little bit of the velocity on that particular pitch.
That brings up Aiden Falk. Ground out to third, her first at-bat. First pitch from Elsie is a changeup that bounces on home plate for ball 1. Falk, the senior right fielder, hitting .361 on the season, 4 home runs, 16 RBI. The outfield very deep. On the slugging lefty is Elsie blows one by her bat for strike 1. Aiden Falk has played some first base, a lot of designated hitter throughout her career. The 1-1 on its way. Curveball misses high for ball 2. She really struggled when she did get time in right field last season from a defensive standpoint. The Wolverines needed her bat in the lineup. She's also seen some time at catcher. She's been all over the place, but the bottom line is with a bat like hers, you got to play her somewhere. The 2-1 pitch skied foul down the third baseline.
Right, she's seen a lot of time in right field so far this season.
And I think she has really worked on her defense. And
she has gotten a lot better.
I'll have to ask her about that. I don't think we talked to her for the pod yet this season. She's a good interview. The 2-2 on its way, changeup, misses high for ball 3. Falk taking her practice hacks. I think accidentally tapped herself in the face. That's why she's got that visor, that face guard. The 3-2 on its way, curveball called. Strike 3, got her looking on the outside corner. Couple of big strikeouts for Elsie here to limit the damage in the top of the second.
The back-to-back strikeouts against 2 of Michigan's better hitters, I think they would like to say.
Certainly some of their hotter hitters.
So good work by the Colonial pitcher.
That brings up Alex Subject, the DH. First pitch, swinging a pop-up foul on the right side. Going to bounce off the concrete, off a fence protecting the parking lot. Roll down the grassy hill. down to the concrete barrier that separates it from, I think, wood chips, dirt, something brown. The 0-1 changeup misses high for ball one. There is a dog in the parking lot, but fewer dogs in the stadium.
Pet-friendly arena or venue here at Miami, Ohio.
1-1 curveball misses off the plate inside. Plenty of velocity on that one. The location just slightly off target. 2-1 on subject. Pitch on its way from Elsie, swinging a jam shot foul toward the right side, crashing into the fence and holding on. Did she hold on to make the catch? She did not. I think the ball hit off the fence first. She did hold on to the ball. It was hard to tell whether she had it in her glove because she fell to the ground. But the result of the play is a foul ball. No catch by the first baseman, McCartney. I couldn't tell, but home plate umpire Tim Clem had a better view than I did.
I think she caught it, but you're right. It did hit the fence, and it's still an athletic play, though, crashing into the gate.
It is.
Good concentration.
She brushes her shoulders off and gets back to her position at first base, where she's a couple steps off the line and about even with the bag. A position mirrored by her third base counterpart, LaRusso. The count 2-2 on subject. Elsie Wines, pitch on the way, swinging a fly ball down the left field line, ranging over toward the fence, sliding, and I think crashing into the tarp is the left fielder, Bartlow. She's down and struggling to get up, and she's going to see some attention from the trainers. Holding her face, it looks like, and yeah, she's going to receive some attention. She's up and walking it off, but that's certainly dodgy. It's an area where the bullpen fence sort of juts out to the left and leaves some space for the tarp that would normally used to be covering the field. It's rolled up right now, and she, I think, dinged up her face on it.
Yeah, charged in there with reckless abandon, just trying to sacrifice her body for her team. Looks like she will be okay, but
I think that's one of those deals where at the last second she sort of pulled off a bit as she realized where she was.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's back to her position out there in left field. Certainly scary, but glad to see her walk away all smiles.
Scary collision. Definitely could have been a lot worse.
So subject has had two of the more eventful foul balls that I've seen in this game today, and she's still in that righty batter's box. She stands toward the back of it, slightly open stance, bat parallel to the ground on her right shoulder. The 2-2 again on its way, and that's a called strike three. No doubt about that one. As Elsie, I think she struck out the side.
3 strikeouts.
3 straight strikeouts after letting runners aboard.
Yes.
And Michigan only adds 1 in the top of the second. We head to the bottom of the second, a 5-0 Michigan lead for Sarah Schaefer and the Wolverines here on WCBN Sports' broadcast of Michigan softball. Again, thank you to those of you who have tuned in on this Sunday morning. I'd like to take this opportunity to promote some of the other things we offer here at WCBN Sports. Of course, if you're in the Ann Arbor area or just looking for some good sports talk radio, the Daily Sports Report is on 88.3 FM Ann Arbor. You can also listen to that on WCBN.org. That is broadcast Monday through Thursday, 6 to 6:30 p.m., prime time more or less, where Michigan students talk about Michigan athletics as well as the sports world at large. There are sure to be some very animated conversations about basketball and hopefully softball in the coming week. So, be sure to tune into some of that. Of course, there's also East of the Rockies that I'm contractually obligated to promote, our Michigan softball podcast, where me, Lucas, Jeremy Parks, Alex Drain, and Kevin Klein, who took in yesterday's game in Chicago after watching a successful Loyola Ramblers round of 32 game against Tennessee. But yeah, that podcast recorded every week with interviews with Carol Hutchins, the players, and much, much more. About 45 minutes of softball talk every week. It's good stuff. I highly recommend it as I am a part of it. First pitch, slow roller to the right side, foul from Abrielle McCartney, the first baseman.
Yes, Sarah Schaefer had a quick 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first inning, and she will look to pick up right where she left off as she toasts the pitching rubber.
McCartney hitting .369 on the season. The 0-1 on its way. Changeup misses low for ball one. McCartney, a lefty, stands with a slightly open stance, holds the bat out away from ahead and angled toward the sky. The 1-1 again in the dirt for ball 2. McCartney, a junior out of McDonald, Pennsylvania. Schaefer winds. The 2-1 changeup misses high for ball 3, and Katie Alexander is going to go out to have some words with her freshman righty.
Yeah, Robert Morris, not a school without a notable basketball moment as well in recent years. Of course, the year after the Kentucky Wildcats won their last national championship, Robert Morris defeated them in the NIT the following year. Probably the biggest win in Robert Morris school history.
Wonder if any of the Robert Morris players were up last night watching the game. The 3-1 swinging a line drive foul, ricocheting off a fence, enclosing the outer edge of the bleachers on the left side. The count runs to 3-2 on the Colonial lefty. Schaefer winds. The payoff pitch, half swing and a soft foul off the screen to the left side behind home plate. It was a pitch up and in on her hands, and McCartney fought it off. 1 home run and 12 RBI for the Colonial junior. Schaefer gets the ball, gets on the rubber, winds the payoff pitch yet again, swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes McCartney. I think that was the drop ball from Sarah Schaefer, and it ducked right under the waving bat. That's going to bring up the righty Olivia LaRusso, as Sarah Schaefer has seen 4 hitters. All have been sent back to the dugout in some form or fashion. Schaefer winds, first pitch curveball just a bit off the plate away for ball 1.
All right, 2 strikeouts early for Sarah Schaefer.
LaRusso digs back in. She stands close to the plate, about midway in the box, swings and bounces one foul. Almost a nice barehanded grab from Robert Morris's. That might be head coach Coleman, or it might be an assistant, Jex Varner. Either way, almost a nice stop. Wearing a baggy gray sweater, bright red cap, and some blue sweats. The 1-1 swinging a rocket grounder right at Natalia Rodriguez. She fields, fires to Swearingen, and that's the second out of the inning. A routine play from the Michigan freshman at shortstop, who has seen some tougher plays and made them all this weekend.
Right, hard hit grounder, but no issue at all for the talented shortstop on the defensive end. Right place and right throw to first base.
That brings up Madison Riggle, the DH. First pitch, changeup, called strike from Schaefer to Riggle. I think Schaefer is a 3-pitch pitcher with a rise, a curve, and I forget whether it's a changeup or a drop that she throws, but I imagine they function, somewhat similarly. God, my lack of.
It would seem that if that slower pitch would drop.
Yeah, the 0-1 pitch is fouled off the screen on the right side. That is the area that I regret most, not having a more intimate knowledge of the game. The 0-2 on its way. Rise ball misses high for ball 1, because I was a pitcher myself, and so I feel like I have some appreciation for what goes into getting it done out there. Obviously, I pitched at a lower level than these players do, but it pains me that I can't bring a more accurate description to the listeners. The 1-2 called strike 3 on the outside corner. The curveball catches the edge at the knees, and Sarah Schaefer has seen 2 consecutive 1-2-3 innings to start this one. We head into the top of the 3rd, where Michigan leads the Colonials 5-0.
What was your go-to pitch?
Oh, I threw a circle change that was pretty effective. And I also never threw a 4-seamer because I didn't throw hard enough. Actually, there was one game that I played in that I ever found a broadcast for. It was the second game of a doubleheader. And immediately when I got into the game, the announcers labeled me as a soft tosser.
Oh.
Because the guy who pitched before me was throwing probably mid-70s. No, probably closer to mid-80s. And I was in there throwing mid-70s. Always threw a 2-seamer. Had a little sinking action to it. Also threw a curveball, but it was pretty trash.
Hey, the circle changeup, it's a unique pitch, to say the least.
Yeah, it was more effective than I ever thought it would be when I threw it. But yeah, had some good moments. So it'll be Swearingen leading things off for the Wolverines. Her first at bat went about as well as it could. She hit a home run to left field, 2 RBI.
After working it for a while too.
Yeah, it was
really
a
long
long
at
bat. I would not at all be surprised to see her get some run against Iowa next weekend once Big Ten play starts. At least the first bat off the bench. First pitch, riser misses high for ball 1 out of the right hand of Caitlin Elsey. Who's thrown 1 into 3rd innings, given up a hit and 2 walks, 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts in that time. The 1-0, curveball inside, fought off by Taylor Swearingen, back to the screen for strike 1. Outfield playing deep on the Michigan corner infielder. Infield deep up the middle of the corners, even with the bags. Close to the line on the third base side is LaRusso as the 1-1 pitch. Riser misses high for ball 2. Elsey does have a pretty stark difference in velocity between when she comes in with the hard stuff and that changeup. 2-1. There's the changeup. It's popped up foul off about maybe 5/6, 7/8 of the way up the screen behind home plate.
Now, her changeup and her fastball definitely have a stark contrast. And so far, I think it's been, well, definitely a lot harder than Clark's pitches to hit for the batters for the Wolverines, but they still haven't quite figured it out.
The 2-2. Hard curve misses high. The count runs full on Swearingen, who's already seen like 15 pitches in her 2 at-bats. She'll dig back in. The 3-2 on its way, swinging another foul ball over to the right side. I think Lauren Sweet was the initial Michigan player who was lauded on WCBN's broadcast for being able to extend at-bat after at-bat. Lindsay Montemurano, I think, inherited that sort of designation. And this year, Swearingen's shown it as much as anyone else.
Is it wide open, or is it Swearingen's to keep?
Well, we'll see. She's going to have to get more time, but she's going to earn it if she gets on base the way she has. She takes ball 4 high and is down to first base with a leadoff walk. Haley Hoganrod now steps to the plate, a ground ball single through the hole on the left side, her last at bat. Hoganrod, the left fielder, has started every game this weekend so far for the Maize and Blue. She swings at the first pitch she sees, just like she did last at bat, this time with less success. A pop-up to the right side is fielded by the second baseman Higgins as she ranges over toward first base for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Katie Alexander. She's 0 for 1 on the game today. A fielder's choice ground out to second base that ended the Wolverines' threat in the first. Looking to improve on that against Caitlin Elsey. First pitch changeup misses high for ball 1. Swearingen, not the most threatening Michigan base runner over at first base, but she's got a little bit of pace to her.
Yeah, I think, like you said, the trick for her is just going to be getting playing time. Obviously, first base is usually manned by Tara Blanco, and a lot of the other spots are pretty locked up as well.
Yeah, third base Maddie Uden has done whatever she possibly can to lock that up as well, both ends of the ball. 1-1 the count on subject, 1 out, 1 on. Here in the top of the third. Pitch on its way from Elsey. Her ball misses high for ball 2. I'd say Elsey has tended to miss on the high side in general in her brief tenure in this game.
Yeah, high or pretty outside. Mm-hmm. It's usually where she's missed, but not outside to the right-handed batters. More so for the lefties.
2-1 changeup. She made an adjustment and misses low with that one. The count moves to 3-1. Again, not familiar enough with the mechanics to find an explanation for that. But to be fair, even baseball, my area of expertise, I'm not familiar enough with pitching mechanics to explain why pitches are going high and low. The 3-1 grounded back up the middle, a soft shot fielded by the shortstop, steps on second for one. The relay to first in time. It's a double play, and that was Taryn Miller up the middle fielding her position and ending the Wolverines' threat in the top of the third. So they go scoreless for the first time in this game. Still 5-0 they lead heading into the bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, and Elsie only giving up 1 run in the 2 combined innings. Really the 7 outs of work that she's been on the mound for. Pretty impressive stuff for a pitcher that brought in a ERA of over 6.
Yeah, came into a rough spot against a lineup that has really been clicking lately and has done her job so far. So Schaefer back out there, perfect through 2. She'll face the bottom of the Robert Morris lineup in Taylor Bartlow, Bridget Guiney, and the aforementioned Taryn Miller.
It looks like there's going to be some sort of substitution.
Yeah, maybe a pinch hitter. Hard to tell. We shall see. That was a tailor-made double play off the bat of Katie Alexander. Hasn't barreled the ball up yet today the way she was yesterday. Not even doesn't really appear to be swinging as hard. Maybe a bit off balance. As we were saying yesterday, or I was saying during Megan Bobian's start, sometimes it's just not your day, but there's always time. There's always another opportunity to right the ship. And Katie Alexander, no, that's not Katie Alexander. That's Abby Skavars behind home plate.
I think that's the substitution that's being made. It looks
there
like
you go.
Skavars is going to be catching for the current moment.
Yep, you're not wrong. Anyway, her throw down to second sailed way over the head of Natalia Rodriguez. Rodriguez is not the tallest player out there, but if she were 7'5", she still would have had to jump to corral that one.
Well, Skavars will get some catching work.
First pitch to Bartlow, dips down below the bat. Looked like a hard drop and a swing and a miss for strike 1. Taylor Bartlow, the left fielder, hitting 176 on the season. 444 when she leads off, however. The 0-1, curveball called, strike 2, outside corner at the knees. Schaefer ahead in the count early, 0-2. She winds. The pitch, curveball, a little further outside there, just trying to stretch the boundaries of the zone in the eyes of the umpire and in the mind of Taylor Bartlow.
Yeah, room to work when you throw 2 strikes off the bat.
Count now 1-2. Schaefer winds. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Down goes Bartlow on the high cheese from the freshman Schaefer.
Strikeout number 4 of the early morning.
She is doing some work. That brings up Bridget Guiney, the catcher, hitting 204 on the season. 1 home run, 8 RBI. Schaefer winds. The first pitch swinging a ground ball foul toward the right side. Knocked down by the Robert Morris third base coach, but again, can't field it cleanly with the bare hands.
Unable to make the play.
Guiney, the catcher, crouches low in that right-handed batter's box. Steps toward the front and then back toward the mid. A little open stance. The 0-1. Hard drop misses low from Sarah Schaefer, and the count moves to 1-1. Guiney back in the box, rests the bat on her right shoulder, lifts it up, swings and skies one foul toward the left side over the screen and out of play. The devil of it all, too, when it comes to describing pitches, is I can't ask the pitchers for many details about their arsenal because
you can't put that information out there.
They can't share that.
They keep that close to the chest.
It was even rare that Schaefer even told me what she threw. The 1-2 on its way, drop ball just tapped foul behind home plate to the left side. Count remains 1-2 on Guiney.
Yeah, they will not let anything happen to allow batters to read their pitches.
Yeah, the scouting is beyond what you might expect. The 1-2 curveball called, strike 3 right on the edge, froze Bridget Guiney. The second strikeout of the inning for Schaefer, the 5th of the game in 8 outs recorded. And that'll bring the number 9 hitter, the shortstop, Taryn Miller.
That puts her at 21 strikeouts now on the season. Actually, over that. Stats on the StatCast not updated from yesterday.
I think they might have been in the interim. First pitch misses high for ball 1. I definitely saw that like Canfield's home run stats were updated. So we might be dealing with the real deal. The 1-0 pitch, changeup called strike on the outside corner. Count moves to 1-1 on Miller, hitting .241 with 1 home run, 5 RBI. Schaefer winds the 1-1, swinging a tapper back to the circle. Schaefer extends her entire frame, reaches over her head, makes the catch, throws to first. It's another 1-2-3 inning. Schaefer doing it pretty much all herself. Perfect through 3. The Wolverines lead 5-0 over Robert Morris, heading into the top of the 4th. I figure it's not like jinxing a perfect game if I just say it's perfect from the jump, right?
Hey, I mean, she's getting the job done right now.
She is. She has been on another level this weekend.
And perfect time of the year to find that next level. Home opener for the Wolverines is on Wednesday against Central Michigan.
Absolutely.
I believe it is a 4 o'clock start time, if I'm not mistaken.
Heck if I know. I'm not calling it. Get my wisdom teeth taken out, so I will be resting.
It's a fun operation, if I will say so myself.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it, but you know, who knows? Maybe it'll open up room for my broadcasting talents.
Yeah, I got my wisdom teeth out last year around at my high school spring break. And it was the week of the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament.
Excuse to stay home.
So it was about as good as it got.
Nice. Natalia Rodriguez leading things off for the Michigan Wolverines here in the top of the 4th. The shortstop with a walk in her 1 plate appearance today. Squares to bunt, pulls back, curveball off the plate away for ball 1. Takes a practice hack. Steps back in the box. A slightly open stance, but of course the slap hitter approach. Half cut and a miss. And the ball that drops low and into the glove of Bridget Guiney. Strike 1. LZ shakes off a sign now. Comes to the plate. The 1-1 curveball off the plate away. The count runs to 2-1 on Natalia Rodriguez. Infield in. Outfield in. The 2-1. Swinging a slow 2-hopper to short. The field, the throw by Miller in time to get Natalia Rodriguez by a quarter of a step.
Yeah, just in time. Rodriguez almost able to use her speed to her advantage, but the throw, bang, bang play.
Yeah, she didn't rush the throw, but she threw that with a ton of velocity across the diamond. That'll bring up Faith Canfield, 2 for 2 with a couple of singles, a slow roller to the right of second base, taking 2 steps to her right is Higgins. She fields and flips to first for the second out of the inning.
2 quick outs, and I think it's worth saying now that for Kaylin Elzy, she's at 3 total innings pitched, only giving up 1 hit and 1 run, 3 walks and 3 strikeouts, and 12 batters faced.
Yeah, she's doing well. That brings up Natalie Peters, 0 for 1, with a ground out to the pitcher and a walk in this game. Holds the bat out in front, pulls it back. First pitch, changeup just off the plate away for ball 1. Good eye from the Michigan center fielder. Looking to start a 2-out rally for the Wolverines. Maize jerseys, blue undergarments, white pants, blue socks for the Maize and Blue. Swinging a line drive foul up onto the concourse on the left side. Count now 1-1. Robert Morris, white tops, dark navy blue pants with a white and red stripe down the sides. White socks, white cleats with red laces. The 1-1 curveball called strike at the knees on the outside corner. Good spot there from Caitlin Elzy. Peters takes a practice hack. She's behind in the count 1-2. Did a great job of working the count in her last at-bat. Pitch on its way. That curveball does not catch the outside corner, and the count moves to 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on for the Wolverines in the top of the 4th. Pitch on its way from Elsie, a changeup that misses low and away, and the count runs full on Natalie Peters.
Yeah, that changeup again coming in slow. Peters already outside the batter's box by the time the pitch actually did reach the catcher's glove.
And as we know, if she swings and makes contact once she's out of the box, she is out. The payoff pitch, swinging a tapper foul behind home plate. On a hard, I think, riser that might have been ball 4 had she let it go by, but got to protect the plate. That's the thing about that slap approach. There's so much timing and mechanics incorporated into something that's already difficult in making contact with a thrown pitch. The 3-2 pitch misses high for ball 4. But when executed well, it's just such a pain for a defense to deal with.
And for a pitcher as well, just trying to throw around a moving object is tough. And we've seen a couple walks for the Wolverine batters that do employ that slapper technique.
Yeah, for sure. Peters has had a good eye today. That brings up Madison Uden, 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a homer. First pitch curveball misses off the plate away for ball 1. Peters, the fastest runner on this Michigan team, a threat to go certainly down at first base.
We did see her score a run all the way from first, all around the bag yesterday.
Want to know the count on Madison Uden. Pitch on the way. Curveball misses even farther outside for ball 2. Uden tied for the team lead in strikeouts with, I think, Aiden Falk heading into this game. It's been a lively competition between the two. The 2-0 pitch on its way, changeup. That one went out of Elsie's hand wrong and started way high. The catcher Guiney had to leap out of her crouch to make the catch. The count moves to 3-0 on Madison Uden. Of course, both hitters more than make up for the runners they leave on base with the strikeouts with the production they have at the plate. The 3-0 misses low and away for ball 4, and Uden down to first base with a 2-out walk.
The back-to-back walks now for Elsie. That is starting to pile up for her now. I believe she's at 5 total walks given up in this game. She can work out of it, just needs 1 out to do so, but the Wolverines also now have a runner in scoring position. With 2 on, they could look to do some damage with Aiden Falk at the plate.
Really a pitching line for Elsie that tells one story. 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. It's kind of the hallmark of a pitcher who's trying to do it all herself, and she's had some success so far. Left runners on base.
Yeah, I mean, only giving up that 1 run after her teammate Clark gave up 4 runs in 2 outs of work in the first inning. So you have to commend her for at least limiting the runs more so.
Can only live on the edge so long until it comes back to bite you. Aiden Falk looking to chomp down and add to Michigan's lead. She takes a 1-0 pitch, a changeup in there for a called strike, belt high on the outer half. The first pitch was a curveball that missed low and away. Falk, the right fielder, hitting .356, 0 for 2 today. A ground out and a strikeout looking. The 1-1 curveball misses outside for ball 2.
Yeah, she really goes outside on these left-handed hitters for Michigan. It's where they've been able to compile a lot of the balls that they have taken.
Falk power to all fields. The 2-1 on its way from Elsie. Misses low and away. The count runs to 3-1 on Aiden Falk with Alex Subject waiting in the on-deck circle. This rally started with a 2-out walk from Natalie Peters. Uden followed with a walk of her own, and now Falk takes the 3-1 pitch on the outside corner at the knees for a called strike 2. Falk digs back in. Elsie working quickly. The payoff pitch, swinging a line drive foul on the left side. And the count remains full. Elsie, unlike Clark, has had that put-away pitch in action today.
Yes, she has. She has. And that's shown up with the 3 strikeouts in the box score for her.
Looks in, gets the sign, rocks back. Another 3-2 pitch way low and outside. Guiney dives to her left, makes the pick, but the runners will move up anyway. 3 straight walks for Caitlin Elzy after recording the first 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Nowhere to put Alex Subject.
Still just 1 out needed for the Colonials to finish this inning up, but it's been a real struggle right now. Think maybe a right-handed batter could be more favorable for Elzy. I think she's had a little bit more luck with them.
First pitch misses inside. Hutch was looking to share some words with Subject, said, hey, at her twice. The Subject would not get out of the batter's box and turn around. Hutch gave sort of an exasperated look into the dugout like, what do I have to do? Now shares some words after the first pitch, ball. The 1-0 pitch, a changeup, misses high for ball 2. I wonder if the advice was to take until she gets a strike here, because Elzy has struggled to find the zone.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely uncomfortable right now, and
she does take, and it's a lollipop down Broadway for strike 1. Yeah, Subject was all the way in the back of the box, so that's her typical approach.
Take what the pitcher gives you.
The 2-1, swinging a pop-up behind home plate. The catcher, Guiney, trips on her way back there, but the ball hit high on the screen anyway. The count 2-2 now on Subject. Elzy, the pitcher, with a glittering thin red headband. Gotta wonder if that might be a bit of a distraction in this sunlight for the hitters.
Anything for the pitcher to get the advantage, right?
Absolutely. The 2-2 on its way to Subject. Swing, fly ball, shallow left. That one could be trouble, and it's going to drop for a base hit. 2 runs already in. Running through the stop sign is Aiden Falk, and she will score. It's a 3-run bloop double for Alex Subject, and the Wolverines take an 8-0 lead.
Man, landing just fair and in between the two, the left field and the shortstop running right towards each other, right in between them. Lack of communication, and the Wolverines are the beneficiaries of that lack of communication.
Yeah, one of the few no man's lands on the field. It was Miller, the shortstop, charging out into shallow left down that line. Bartlow coming in from left. The ball fell right in between them, and it took them some time. I think both made an effort on the ball to get it back to the infield. By that time, bases are cleared. That brings up Swearingen. She fouls the first pitch off the top of the Robert Morris dugout.
Run number 8 now for the Wolverines on 7 hits so far in this game.
They've been relatively efficient.
It should just be a couple innings away from wrapping things up here if they continue to play with the current intensity.
The 0-1. Hard rise ball misses high for ball 1. Swearingen 1 for 1 with a homer and a walk. And that damage entirely of Elzy's doing. The walks that she had issued finally coming back to bite her.
All come around the bag, and with 2 outs, unable to get that finishing punch, the Colonials pay the price.
1-1 pitch. Another high, hard one misses for ball 2. Swearingen takes some practice hacks. She's made the most of her stint in the lineup today. The 2-1. Another hard curve misses high for ball 3. And it's kind of funny how the narrative on Elzy has swung, at least in my mind, from a pitcher who's been dancing around the Wolverine hitters to a pitcher who's really fighting it out there.
Yeah, I think the Wolverines finally figured it out.
3-1 swing and a moonshot to straightaway center field. Coming on to make the catch is Kristen Prey, and that's the final out of the inning. Swearingen put a charge into that one, but the launch angle not quite ideal. And the Wolverines' threat ends after scoring 3 on an Alex Subject bloop double in the top of the 4th inning. They lead 8-0 heading into the bottom of the 4th here on WCBN Sports' broadcast of Michigan softball. Again, thanks to those of you who have tuned in. Can't say it enough, and I already say it quite a lot.
It is going to be Sarah Schaefer, who has not yet allowed a base runner for the Colonials yet. Continues to pitch sharp here in Oxford, Ohio?
As people probably don't want me to say, but I've already said it enough already. She's throwing a perfect game, and she's 6 outs away.
Wow, you just broke the the unwritten rule of softball.
I've broken it every inning since she's entered the game. I wasn't, I'm always thinking about a perfect game.
Hey, you know what they
from
say?
The very first pitch.
You know what they say? Rules are made to be broken.
Yeah. Do they say that? Yeah, they do say that. You said it.
I said it.
I've probably said it at some point. That's plural, so they
Yes
applies. On the same page, Brianna Bunner leading things off. The sophomore righty now hitting .321 on the season for the Colonials. Grounded out to Natalia Rodriguez in her first at-bat. Schaefer winds. Pitch on the way. Slow roller down the third baseline. Charging Uden Fields. Fires to Swearingen at first. An awkward catch. She caught it in the palm of her glove, but holds on for the first out of the inning.
Nice flick from Madison Uden. A lot of speed on that throw down the line pretty much. And good job by Swearingen as well to handle it.
Yeah, I thought off the bat it might be sort of a swinging bunt, but Madison Uden had other ideas. That brings up the slapper Kristen Prey. First pitch on its way, swinging a tapper foul. Reached out and made contact with that one about a foot in front of home plate. It was dipping down and out of the zone. Strike one. Schaefer checks her armband, looks and gets the sign, winds the 0-1, swinging a ground ball on one hop right back to Schaefer. She fields, flips over to first, and gets the speedy Prey by one step for the second out of the inning. It's come pretty easily for Sarah Schaefer here in the fourth and here throughout the game, throughout the weekend in Oxford, Ohio.
And not too much stress for her at all so far in this game. She looks really, really calm out there. Really poised for a freshman pitcher.
That brings up Natalie Higgins, second baseman. First pitch curveball, called strike on the outside corner. Got to wonder if Schaefer's given any thought to transferring to Miami of Ohio because she pitches so well in Oxford. Higgins a pop out to short, her last at bat. The 0-1 swinging a soft line drive, shallow center coming on and then stopping on a dime, reaching up to make the catch is Natalie Peters. Not that soft of a line drive, really. A lot on that, but right at the center fielder for the Wolverines. 12 up, 12 down for the Colonials. Through 4, we head to the top of the 5th. Michigan an 8-0 lead here in Oxford, Ohio against the Robert Morris Colonials.
They will definitely look to finish this up here in the 5th. Maybe tack on a couple more runs if they would please. But Sarah Schaefer, cannot say enough about the work she has done so far in the last 2 days.
It'll be Hoganrod Skavars and Natalia Rodriguez slated to hit for the Wolverines here in the top of the 5th inning with 7, 8, 9 in the lineup.
We also have not seen the Wolverines score less than 7 runs in a game so far.
Very true. It's been a shutout weekend, which was, more or less what we were expecting heading into this, but it's always great to see expectations come to fruition. And they've done it with style on the defensive end, I'd say. Just absolutely crisp, not a single error thus far. And that's the kind of thing that doesn't really vary from opponent to opponent. That's something that's entirely controlled by the team, and they've controlled it.
No, absolutely. I think this Wolverines team has some things that travel really well, and that's their fielding and, in most cases, their pitching.
Sure thing. First pitch curveball misses high to Haley Hoganrod. Something I've never really noticed. She holds the bat with about an inch or two of space between both hands on the handle as she takes the 1-0 pitch, a curveball off the plate inside. Ty Cobb was known for hitting with his hands apart on the bat. It allowed him to place the ball a little more. Might sacrifice a little bit of power as Hoganrod swings and fouls a changeup back to the screen.
Yeah, you might have a little bit more control over where you can kind of aim the barrel of the bat, but I can definitely see the sacrifice of power.
2-1 the count. The pitch from Elsie grounded back up the middle. A diving deflection off of the glove of Higgins and into center field. Probably going to be scored as a base hit because it would have had to have been a superlative play from the Robert Morris second baseman.
Right, I wouldn't say that's an error. Just hard to hit grounder, tough to field.
Goes up on the scoreboard as a hit. It'll be Hoganrod's second of the game. She's 2 for 3. That brings up Abby Skvars. Yet to see an at-bat today. Saw a couple yesterday. First pitch changeup in there for a called strike, belt high. Skvars just trying to see what she sees. Had a pop out and a strikeout, if I'm not mistaken, in her 2 substitution at-bats yesterday. The lefty awaits the 0-1. Hard curveball misses off the plate away for ball 1. Skvars crouches low, her torso relatively upright in that lefty batter's box. Slightly open stance, rests the bat on her left shoulder. The 1-1 changeup starts high, stays high for ball 2. Hoganrod ran track and cross country and played basketball as well as softball in high school. So definitely an athlete and a threat to go on the base paths.
It's a three season athlete. No time off at all during the high school year.
2-1. Hard riser, misses high. Good eye from Skvars to let it go by. The count moves to 3-1. No outs. Hoganrod on first for the Wolverines here in the top of the 5th against the Robert Morris Colonials. They lead 8-0 here in Oxford, Ohio. The 3-1 curveball misses low, trying to spot that at the knees on the outer edge. Just missed the spot. And Skvars down to first base with a no-out walk. Moving on to second is Hoganrod.
Yeah, the walks continue to pile up for LZ. That's 7 now.
And Taylor Bump will be pinch hitting for Natalia Rodriguez. Here, the Wolverines freshman has scuffled a bit at the plate so far this season. Had a senior year in which she really shot onto the scene in, I believe it was Florida. Not really known as a power hitter when Michigan recruited her, but just went on an absolute tear in that regard. Some high expectations, at least from me when she came onto campus. First pitch changeup misses low for ball 1. She's hit 3 for 18 so far on the season. It can be more of an adjustment for some than others, adjusting to the college game. The 1-0. Hard riser misses high for ball 2.
Definitely an adjustment anytime you come from the high school game to the college game. Just the talent increase, the travel, classes, everything about it is different. Just takes some girls, athletes, a little bit longer than others.
2-0 curveball misses low and in. Count runs to 3-0 on Taylor Bump. Yeah, you know, your whole life changes, and you never know exactly how that's going to affect what you put forward, what we see out there on the field. The 3-0 pitch changeup misses high for ball 4. That's walk number 8 for Caitlin Elzy. Couple this inning and a conference in the circle. No pitching change geared up yet. Mackenzie Nemitz will pinch hit for Faith Canfield.
We did see her in one at-bat yesterday.
Especially given that Michigan looks to be poised to score some runs in this inning. This will be likely the last frame we see thrown by any Robert Morris arm. Maybe Coach Coleman is saving his arms for later games, letting Elzy finish this one off herself. For her sake, I hope it doesn't get too ugly. First pitch on its way to the lefty. Nemitz is a curveball that misses off the plate away.
Yeah, she has struggled against these left-handed hitters, just getting the ball over the plate. Just a lot of walks. 8 now.
Just cannot find the plate no matter who's standing in the box. The 1-0 pitch is a lollipop over the outside half for a called strike. Now Nemitz, the lefty, with a chance to barrel it up. Got on with a walk yesterday in her one appearance. The 1-1 pitch. Another slow change. Misses maybe a bit high, maybe a bit outside. And that zone does start to shrink both from the mental perspective of the pitcher and also the ump will be less likely to give you a benefit of the doubt calls if you're not earning it. The 2-1. Hard curve misses high for ball 3. High and a bit inside. Count 3-1 on Nemitz. All smiles. Relaxation on the Michigan side as they get to bask in this early afternoon sun. The 3-1 pitch misses low. It's a bases loaded walk and an RBI for Mackenzie Nemitz, her second of the season. And that, I believe, will be the last we see of Caitlin Elzy. An up-and-down performance. She's thrown 3 1/3, 3 hits, 9 walks, and 5 earned runs. She's also responsible for the 3 runners on base. Heading into the circle now for the Robert Morris Colonials will be Laura Coulter. Coulter is a 1 second. We'll pull this up eventually. A sophomore? No, a junior, I think. Anyway, her stats on the season: 34 1/3 innings pitched, 27 earned runs, 1 5 her record.
The Michigan base runners getting a little bit of a practice timing the jump with the new pitcher while she warms up.
Yeah, it's fun to watch sort of that synchronization. Coulter is a junior out of Banora Point or Banora Point. I'm not very well schooled in Australian pronunciations because she is from Australia.
Oh. Well, international flair.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of softball players from Australia. So at the plate for the Wolverines and taking the first pitch high is Amanda Vargas.
Then you can see the Fort Wayne team just arriving now. That will be Michigan's next game, immediately following the conclusion of this Robert Morris game.
The 1-0 pitch misses off the plate inside to Laura Coulter, or from Laura Coulter to Amanda Vargas, and it seems to be more of the same for this Michigan lineup. Just letting the pitches go by and the runs pile up. Coulter winds the 2-0. That one a called strike. The curve catches the inside edge. Still no outs with the bases loaded. 9-0 Michigan lead here in the top of the 5th. Amanda Vargas, 3 for 24 on the season, looking to add to that. The 2-1 on its way, swinging a pop-up behind the infield on the right side, ranging into shallow right to make the catch is the second baseman Higgins. The runners will stay put, and that's the first out of the top of the 5th for the Wolverines. That will bring to the plate Thais Gonzalez. The Wolverines begin to empty the bench. Gonzalez did get subbed in for Haley Hoganrod at one point yesterday. Had an at bat. Don't remember how it went. But the lefty will be the second batter to face Laura Coulter, the righty out of Australia. First pitch, swinging a foul back to the screen. Gonzalez, a lefty, 3 of 25 on the season. The 0-1 changeup, called strike at the knees on the outside corner. Good location, good change of pace there from Laura Coulter.
Yeah, Coulter does now at least get an opportunity to test herself against a big-time team in the Wolverines.
The 0-2 misses off the plate outside, and the count runs to 1-2 on Thais Gonzalez.
A rare opportunity for a team, Robert Morris, that plays in the Colonial Athletic Association, I believe. The Northeastern Conference.
The 1-2 changeup misses low for ball 2. They are the Colonials.
Out of the Northeastern Conference.
Be a bit arrogant to name the conference after themselves.
It would ooze confidence. As I said about St. Bonaventure. The Bonnies.
The 2-2 swinging a foul sprayed down that third base line. A couple of fans ducking as it hit the top of the netting, protecting that concourse on the left side.
Yeah, that one fan over there is definitely a mother, like holding a baby in that chest strap. She would take extra precaution.
The 2-2 curveball just misses off the plate away. Good location from Coulter, but the count runs full on Thais Gonzalez with nowhere to put her. I have to say, she looked to be more interested in dodging the ball than protecting her child, but Thankfully, the net's there. The 3-2 pitch in the dirt gets behind the catcher. Doesn't matter. The run will score. Another RBI walk for the Wolverines. This one from Thais Gonzalez. And then I'll lead 10-0 here in the top of the fifth. So Courtney Richardson started a fair amount of games for the Wolverines in left field last year. Her absence from the lineup so far this year has been a bit of a mystery to me. She's only 0 for 3 on the season. She showed plenty of power, some defensive struggles. Hoganrod has done well in left. She swings at the first pitch, pops it up. Straightaway right field, Bunner coming on to make a basket catch. The throw home will bounce away from the catcher, but no one's going to move up as the pitcher Coulter was backing up the play, as she should be. Just a little too shallow for bump to score from third base. Bunner misjudged that one initially. Looked like she was just slowly walking in and then had to pick up the pace.
Yeah, she looked like she bobbled it a little bit, but no runs scored, so no damage done.
Got the job done. That'll bring up Alex Subject, already hit with the bases loaded today and doubled down the left field line. She's got 2 doubles today to go along with a strikeout looking.
Yeah, big double that cleared the bases.
Pitch on the way from Coulter in the dirt. Misses low for ball 1. 11-0 Wolverines. Top of the fifth. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Scoreboard says 3 outs. Not quite yet. Counting chickens and all that. The 1-1 curveball misses high and inside. The count runs to 2-1 on Alex Subject. Subject, the designated hitter, seen plenty of playing time this weekend, none in the field. She's played catcher and third base over her career at Michigan. 2-1 pitch misses low for ball 3. Showed a lot as a freshman for the Wolverines. Actually started pretty much every game in the first half of her freshman year. Then struggled a bit at the plate. Falk took her place, and then Katie Alexander got a little bit of playing time as she takes the 3-1 pitch at the knees for a called strike 2. Then last year, Alexander, given her defensive improvements and also improvements at the plate, sort of sees the starting role. The payoff pitch, swinging a line drive foul down the third base line. That went off the end of the bat. But she's continued to stick around, grind, do some work at the third base spot. Again, hasn't earned a starting spot there yet, but she's definitely earned some time in the lineup and should probably see some time as the team gets shuffled around. Another payoff pitch, misses high for ball 4, and she works a 2-out, bases loaded walk. So 4 RBI on the day for the junior out of somewhere in Michigan. That'll bring up Taylor Swearingen.
Yeah, Michigan, about the offensive performance that we expected. 11 runs. I didn't expect as many walks, but
not something they can really, well, it is something they can control, but can't control the other pitcher just being a little bit erratic. The first pitch misses low to Swearingen. She's 1 for 2 with a home run, a walk, and a fly out to center.
Once this inning, top of the inning concludes, we expect Sarah Schaefer to be able to finish the game off relatively quickly. But I guess there's always the possibility that Robert Morris scores 11 runs.
Absolutely. Baseball is not a timed sport. The 1-0 pitch missed low. Now Coulter readies the 2-0 pitch. Curveball also misses low. Swearingen ahead in the count 3-0. Looks like Hoganrod will hit still in her regularly scheduled slot if Swearingen gets aboard. Coulter winds. The 3-0 misses up and in, and Swearingen trots down to first base. It is, I think, the 4th RBI walk of the inning for the Wolverines. Mackenzie Nemitz comes in to score.
They've certainly walked quite a few in a row.
Getting their steps in. So Haley Hoganrod, 2 for 3 today. First pitch curveball misses low and in from Coulter for ball 1. She started off this inning with a ground ball back up the middle, a diving Higgins, Natalie Higgins, the second baseman, couldn't quite make the play. The ball trickled off of her glove and into shallow center field. Came around to score, obviously, and here she is again facing a different pitcher in a different scenario.
Yeah, she has certainly gotten quite a few different looks, but I'd say overall in this tournament she has continued to play well, especially out of that left field spot, which was also another position of potential competition.
Yep. At the moment, she has beaten out the likes of Thais Gonzalez and Courtney Richardson for that spot, but that's definitely something that's subject to change. Always competitions, always making each other better are these Michigan softball players. The 1-0 pitch, swinging a foul back to the screen. Good to see her up there and ready to take that bat off her shoulder at this juncture in the game. Wolverines with a bunch of walks and a couple of flyouts in this inning. They've tallied 4. Coulter gets the sign, winds the 1-1 to Hoganrod. Misses in the dirt low for ball 2. Good eye from the Michigan left fielder. Infield and outfield, deep and straight away against the Michigan righty. The 2-1 on its way. Ground ball back up the middle. That's a base hit. It's going to score 1. Stopping at third is Alex Subject. She had to leap over that ball as it skirted under her into center field. So not only was she a little bit slowed down on her way around third, I think Coach Hutch doesn't want to pile on at this point either.
Yeah, no need to for the Wolverines right now. I mean, I understand that they're not just going to stop playing. They'll keep swinging and advancing one base at a time, but there's no need to pile it on, like you said. Already have a 13-0 lead.
RBI single. Hoganrod is 3 for 4 today. The first pitch from Coulter bounces away. Subject coming home on the wild pitch. The throw is not in time. So much for not piling on, but
yes.
You got to play the game. You got to keep your instincts sharp, and Subject scores the 14th run of the game for the Wolverines here in the top of the 5th. So Skvars now hitting with runners on second and third. A 1-0 count on the Michigan lefty.
The 6-run inning so far.
Swings and skies one foul. Bounces off the pole, holding the netting at the leftmost side near the Michigan dugout and bounces out of play. Sort of a weird carom there. Count 1-1 on Skvars, the backup catcher. Big cut and a miss on a high curveball from Coulter. The count runs to 1-2. Skvars, a 5'8" sophomore out of Clarkston, Michigan. Behind in the count. Coulter winds, delivers the 1-2, a changeup, misses low and away. The count now 2-2 with 2 on and 2 out. Here in the top of the 5th. I'm always tickled by the strings of the same number that I can rattle off verbally, in case you haven't noticed. Coulter winds. The 2-2 misses high for ball 3.
Full count. Let's see. She has 14 strikeouts on the season. Let's see if she can come up with one here.
The catcher, Guiney, has gotten a full leg workout today, springing to her left, right, up, and down to corral the wild pitches.
She certainly has.
Of these Colonial pitchers. The 3-2 on its way. Swing and a miss. Skvars goes down on strikes. Looked like a curveball. Coulter might have taken something off of it, and that'll do it for the Wolverines' threat. They score 6 runs in the top of the 5th, most of those coming via bases-loaded walks. And they will head into the bottom of the 5th, looking to end this one and get into the next game against Fort Wayne on a good note.
Yeah, 14-0 lead. Don't expect Sarah Schaefer to surrender more runs in 1 inning, or 3 innings, I guess, if it could go there, than she has all season. Schaefer only surrendering 8 total runs on the year prior.
She has not surrendered a base runner yet today.
So
she'll be facing the middle of the Robert Morris lineup in Abrielle McCartney, Olivia LaRusso, and Madison Riggle.
We get to see all the...
It's a potential for a perfect game without the fanfare that might accompany it in a closer game or against a more high-profile opponent, but still an impressive achievement in its own right for a freshman operating, away from home.
Still college caliber softball players, so
Oh, absolutely.
Can't underscore the achievement should it happen.
Yeah, maybe the numbers might have been slightly different on the scoreboard against a Baylor or a Florida or something, but the pitches that she has thrown have been located well. They've been impressive, and I'd say they'd get maybe not the same results, but similar results against any competition.
I am with you there.
14 runs on 9 hits for the Wolverines, no errors. Robert Morris, no runs, no hits, no walks, no errors, no base runners of any other sort by hit by pitch or catcher's interference or things of that nature. So McCartney, the lefty first baseman, hitting .364 on the season, a strikeout swinging in her first at-bat. She wears number 3, and she's waiting for the umpires to sort something out with the Robert Morris dugout. Probably a substitution of some sort, perhaps. Not sure what it is yet. Maybe we'll see it later. The first pitch from Schaefer. McCartney takes, and it's a drop ball off the plate away for ball 1. McCartney has an interesting stance. Wide open.
Yes.
Weight on her back foot. The 1-0 pitch popped up shallow left, and Rodriguez ranging out defers to the charging Courtney Richardson, who makes the catch on the edge of the infield grass for the first out of the inning. Richardson in left. Haley Hoganrod has shifted to right field. Looks like Natalie Peters is still in center. Of course, we've already mentioned Skavaris behind the plate, and those are the only Michigan changes of note. That'll bring up Olivia LaRusso. First pitch. Curveball just misses off the plate away. The count 1-0 on the Robert Morris third baseman. Grounded out to Rodriguez, her last plate appearance. The 1-0 on its way. Curveball, another pop-up to the same spot. Rodriguez this time will claim it for herself. Makes the catch on the edge of the infield grass behind her. LaRusso aiming the ball at the shortstop. First on the ground, this time in the air. The second out of the 5th inning, and Sarah Schaefer is 1 out away from a perfect game. That brings up Madison Riggle, the designated hitter, hitting .130 on the season. The righty awaits. First pitch curveball misses. Maybe a bit low, maybe a bit outside for ball 1. Riggle struck out looking her first plate appearance. The righty awaits. The 1-0. Maybe a drop ball. That one a called strike on the outer edge. The count 1-1 on Riggle. Wind is picked up a bit. Temperature hopefully as well. Schaefer gets the sign, winds. The 1-1. Curveball misses off the plate low and away, and the count runs to 2-1 on Madison Riggle. Schaefer checks her armband. I wonder what's on those armbands. That's something I'm going to ask next time I get the chance to interview a hurler.
Do you think they can reveal that?
Well, they can at least give me the basics as Riggle fouls one off a slow bouncer.
I feel like it's got to be like a signal from like the dugout or something, like a number.
I feel like it's like a guide to interpreting some of the signs that they see.
Yes.
If I had to guess.
That's what I would go with as well.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Madison Riggle. The drop ball on the outer edge. And Sarah Schaefer has her first career perfect game, her second career complete game shutout. But this one marginally more impressive. She has thrown 12 shutout innings this weekend, given up 3 hits. All of them came yesterday. A really impressive accomplishment for the freshman out of Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah, just a complete effort all around by the Wolverines. Not much to say other than that they took care of business.
Absolutely. Sarah Schaefer doing as well as she possibly could, as well as is imaginable, truly.
Looks like Aiden Falk has got the ball to hand to her teammate. It's a special ball anytime you throw a perfect game.
Her final line, 5 innings pitched, no runs, no hits, no walks, no errors, no base runners, 6 strikeouts. And, Yeah, a very noteworthy performance for Sarah Schaefer. The Wolverines win 14-0 over the Robert Morris Colonials. We'll be back with you in approximately 30 minutes to bring you the Wolverines versus the Fort Wayne Mastodons. And then we're going to hit the road and head home. Any thoughts for our listeners before we, maybe go get a snack or hit the bathroom or something?
Just say that Michigan scored as many runs in this game as they did yesterday combined, and I'd hope that the offense could carry over one more time.
On the downside, they also allowed as many runs in this game as they did yesterday combined.
A big negative.
Yeah. Disappointing, truly. The Wolverines will look to recover from that in their next game against Fort Wayne. It'll be in a different YouTube broadcast window. So, we'll be posting the details on Twitter. Be sure to go find that one. Follow us on Twitter at WCBN Sports, or just follow along with the UMich Softball Twitter account, as the athletic department does a really good job of notifying the people of our broadcasts. But yeah, that'll do it for this one. We'll be back with you in about a half hour. Be sure to tune in. Until then, I'm Morris Fabry for Lucas Vargas. Thanks for listening to this one, and we will see you soon.